Hello. Turn the music down a minute. Oh, that's loud. Okay. Going live on Instagram. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Friday. Jesus, it's Monday. I'm paying so much attention today. But hi. How we doing? How's everybody doing? Yeah, gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm gonna be working on the rigging on the tank because I'm actually making a lot of progress on it, and it's almost there. So we'll be working on the suspension, the treads, some of the automatic mapping stuff, as well as just kind of cleaning this up a bit. But yeah, that's what I got planned in store today. I'm gonna move this stuff over here exactly as it was. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, how are you? It must be, is it early there or is it late there? It's gotta be early. When you said Friday, I thought we tried time travel. Yeah, I know. I wish. It would be nice if it was Friday. Tired already and the week hasn't even started. But yeah, so this is what I've been working on kind of behind the scenes. I haven't really shared a whole lot on it. But this is my tank rig, so we're going to be just kind of working on this today and functioning with it. So yeah, good stuff. But how's everybody doing? You guys having a good week so far? I'm going to go ahead and turn off the main body because I need it not visible. And this should go right there. Yeah, okay. And then I want to, so I can see them, which kind of was a dumb move, if I'm being totally honest. You're in here somewhere. There it is. Ha, I got it. All right. Cool, got them both. I'm gonna do bright green. That way I should be able to see them for the most part. Yeah, I can still see them. Okay, cool. Very nice tank. Thank you. I appreciate it. It took a long time to make it. Thank you for your videos. They really helped me with my second semester in concept design. Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad they helped. Thank you for letting me know they helped. Been working on an environment piece for my portfolio. Nice. What are you doing? Okay, so let's kind of look at how we wanna do this. So I think what I want to do. Lots of rig work. Also, wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is definitely a lot of work that I was not necessarily planning to do. But, you know, it happens. I'm just trying to think where to start because I left this part for last because I just didn't want to do it, but I'm just gonna get started, I guess. All right, so here's what let's see. I want to be able to see how much these are rotating. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's do this. JK. This will be just my wheel kind of rotation controls. Oh, wait, now I know going through. Phobia, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I've never rigged a tank tread before. Neither have I, so this is going to be a fun experiment. It's exactly why I saved this for last, because I do not want to, but it needs to be done. So, trying to think of a pretty color to use here. How's blue? Blue blends in too much. I need something that doesn't blend in, so I guess we'll go yellow. Yeah, yellow works. Okay, that should be pretty damn centered, I'm hoping. Yeah, that's like perfectly centered, so Control D. And just get these all centered up and good to go. Don't really care how far they stick out. I really just need to like see. If you guys have any questions, I will try to ask, or I will try to answer them as best as I can. I am not an expert rigging artist, technical artist, so I can only do so much, but I know enough to be dangerous, so. Seeing this makes me wonder what rigs for the Transformer movies look like. Yeah, I would love to like just be able to open one of those, because I can't imagine they aren't just nightmarishly complicated. This has been quite a pain to figure out, but it's finally kind of coming together. Oh, there's no center point on that wheel. That sucks. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna try to get that as close as I can. That should be okay. Okay, cool. Sweet. For something like this, would driven keys be advantageous at all? So yes, I'm going to use a combination of driven keys as well as different constraints. So for the tank tread, it's going to be a curve constraint. And then the set driven keys are going to be used to drive the suspension. And then we're going to use the connection editor to basically take those set driven keys and give us viewport control. So to give you an example on how that kind of works, not like that. If I turn the top on, right? So like, for instance, if I grab this is the main rig control, right? So I can just pull this back and do things, but nothing really happens. It's because this is set up to be driven with a set driven key. It's not functional right now because I have it mapped differently. But basically, that set driven key combines a whole bunch of motions here. So because I have that linked with the connection editor, I can actually drag this forward, and you can see how I get multiple movements with one control. And then eventually I'll just hide this control. So I kind of do like a stacking approach. Is it right? I have no idea, but it works. So that's just kind of how I've been doing it. So, yeah. When did you start learning 3D modeling, etc.? And are you self-taught? Thank you. Yes. So I started learning in high school. I started in like Rhinoceros and then 3ds Max and then Maya. And then I went to college for it. I forgot everything I did in college. I never used my degree outside of college, and then I restarted about 2 years ago. 2 to 3 years ago. Give myself a little bit of credit. So in total, I've been doing this on and off for like 15 years. But most of like the bulk of everything that I've done has been in the past year and a half. Man, that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I just figured this out today after like mashing together a bunch of information. So I will be doing tutorials on a lot of this stuff. Love your video. Lots of tips. Help me grade through the computer animation classes. I am going to work on my thesis film. Oh, soon. What would you recommend me doing so I can showcase my rigging skills in my thesis film? Um, that depends on what your thesis film is going to be about. Do you even know what your film is going to be about yet? It's definitely the first thing you got to figure out. No, cancel. Okay, so let's take these. I try to duplicate my workflow across. So whatever I create on this side, I'm going to just move it over. This has been one big nightmarish experiment, so. But it's actually working, which is kind of cool. Not really, but probably an action piece around 1 to 2 minutes. Well, as far as rigging, I mean, like, kind of the sky's the limit there, right? Like, you could do character rigging, you could do creature rigging, you could do vehicle rigging, like, whatever you want to do, really. It's definitely highly dependent on, like, what your actual thesis is going to be on, but there's a lot you could do. What's up, Stara? How you doing? How is TwitchCon still going, or is it done? And how was it? Minus all the drama that I heard about. Okay, so these guys need their own pivots too. So let's do this. We're gonna go, and if you guys are wondering what I'm using this BS controls thing. This is a really neat little script plugin. So if I want to use a circle, I can do a world parent, and that's gonna create it right in the center of the object. But it's got all sorts of different control rigs. Super awesome tool. On flight, so internet is a bit glitchy. Oh, okay, so you're on your way back. How was TwitchCon? Alright, this guy's gonna go up here. I want this mainly visible. So we're gonna do a bright green. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to be able to see the control curve. All of this is going to be handled by, I'm going to do some additional like control movements, so not going to need a lot of this, but it's going to be cool. It was fun. I definitely need to plan better for next year. Why? Did something go awry? Hopefully not. That's not centered. Now it is. Okay. Control D, V. I might do TwitchCon someday, but I have other things I would like to do instead of TwitchCon, like Lightbox. Lightbox would be really cool to go to. Anyone here going to Lightbox this year? So much I didn't see, and I need to plan for the wheelchair. Oh, gotcha. I see. I see. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good time. That's what matters. Hopefully none of the drama affected you, because I saw that there was quite a bit of it. I don't know what half that is. Okay. And scripts made Maya so much more enjoyable, not gonna lie. When I switched over from Blender, I kind of find Maya to be a bit cluttered. It can be. I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite. I feel like Blender's a bit cluttered, so I think it's just whatever you kind of grew up using. But scripts and such have just, like, it makes the workflow so much better. Especially because you don't have to constantly, like, manually do a lot of stuff. This year I got into the kind of the realm of making my own scripts and just trying to like make things work a little bit better, and it's been really nice. It's been super nice. I had too much joy to let it. Nice. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good. Did you make any good connections? Okay. So let's look at this. So we're gonna go. Oh. Just P. That should be controlling that. That's good. Okay. And this one I'm a little concerned about. So let's see what happens when I rotate it. Nope. I actually somehow got that almost perfectly centered, so that's cool. Hell yeah. Okay. This is the technical art you guys don't usually get to see a lot, so I'm glad I can bring some of this. Okay. So that should... Okay, that handles that. What's good? What's up, Patrick? How you doing, man? I am just working on a rig for this guy. So, been hashing away at this, trying to make sense of it all. I just have a quick shelf plugin that pulls up the relevant shelves that I use. No, that's good. Yeah. I mean, the reality is like you could do so much. Like I know the whole idea of like getting used to like scripting in Python and Mel is kind of like terrifying because like there's a lot to do and there's a lot to learn with it. But once you kind of like unlock that skill set, being able to create your own plugins, being able to create your own just like custom shelves, like all of these are custom up here that I've built out, minus that one. I don't know, it makes the workflow so much faster. And then if you have like a Stream Deck or something like that, you can use those to custom map keys. And so I'll actually custom map keys to certain things that I do. I'm working on a Stream Deck, like, what do you call it, download pack. So people who have them can use it for Maya. But it tends to break a lot, so I don't want to release it just yet. That wasn't really my goal this year. That's for next year. Okay, that's fair. Oh, that's fair. I'm glad you had a good time. Okay. So let's take a look at... How are you doing tonight, Patrick? If you guys don't follow Patrick 4D, you definitely should. He does some insane stuff with ZBrush that I can't even begin to wrap my head around. You use Cinema 4D too, don't you? If I remember correctly. Patrick 4D is goated? Yes, absolutely. Let's see, parent that guy. Let's go through here, parent that guy. Let's just keep aligning some of this up. Okay. This looks so damn complicated. I'm chilling, recovering from the pots I stirred with my reel today. Oh, dude. I know how that is. There comes a point where you're like, can this reel just die? I thought it was a good video though. I like your stance on it, man. Hopefully you're not getting too destroyed on that one. ZBrush and Cinema 4D. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Cinema 4D used to be like my enemy in high school. It beat me every time I did a competition. Somebody who was using Cinema 4D beat me, and it was like I'm like, what am I missing here? And it turned out it was because I was using 3ds Max. What's up, Sharky? How you doing, man? Okay, so these should all be rotating properly now. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see, got home assistant set up after the OFC, the fact power went out. C4D is just crazy with motion graphics. Yes, C4D is crazy with motion graphics. I have never used it before. Appreciate you, not too bad. I'd say 75% good feedback. That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, I don't know. Reels like that are kind of fun because they churn up a lot of engagement. And so, like, you get to kind of, like, talk with people, and then people start yelling at you, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to put the phone down. Did your power come back up, Sharky? Did I map that one? I don't think I mapped this one. I did not. Okay, cool. Half of this is just like remembering, like, did I actually parent that or no? Okay, cool. So those are good to go. So the next thing I want to do, I need to set up constraints for these pistons, which is always a freaking nightmare. Let's do this. I'm going to set up the... we're going to go ahead and set up the kind of drag controls. So let's do... I'm just going to pop that at the origin there and then pull this over. 90, boom. So these are going to be what I use to drive the up-down motion of the actual like wheel rigs, and then from there it'll use a deformation to pull the tread. So I should be able to do like that nice like motion of having all of them just kind of like shuffle and move and kind of bounce around. That's hopefully what's going to happen. This is just me hoping that I'm not an idiot with this and that it will work. Where'd my plugin go? Did I close it? I did. Let's make these visible. So we're going to do red. All right, cool. Okay, so this is one of those things with rigging that you really have to kind of pay attention to. So if I put this, like if I left this here and then had this drag up, you're going to be dragging this in a weird orientation. So we need to make sure that the pivot of the wheel is actually pulling where the mechanical motion would be happening. So I want to make this as centered as possible here. In fact, what we'll do is just pop that there. Cool. And then I'm going to move this right up here. Sweet. Just to try to keep some semblance of actual control here. And the nice thing is once these are all built out, you can do basically whatever you want to. So you can set them all up on like one controller, or you can do them independently, however you want to do it. And then I decided early on that this guy does not flex. Well, it probably should flex a little bit. Okay, sweet. So that'll give me that kind of up-down control. By the way, what was the reference for this? So it's a combination of things. Let me see if I can show you what my original reference looked like. I think I might still have it. Let's see, PureF. A lot of this was my brain, so I didn't have like a direct, like, oh, here's the picture I went off of. Let's go open recent. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because that'll be the big kicker. I think I built that one before I started saving it with the files. So let me see. 2025. Stealth tank. Scenes. Oh, there it is. So the reference was off of a couple of different things. There was this really cool tank in Star Citizen that I liked. I liked the shape of the tread, so I kind of pulled that from there. A couple of different things with the M1 Abrams. And then I found a couple of different just like pieces of concept art. And I don't know, I kind of made a lot of it my own, but most of it just was like bits and pieces of other tanks that I picked up and kind of moved around and did stuff. So, yeah, it was a pretty good... How did that get in there? I don't even know why that's in there. But yeah, no, it was just it was kind of a mishmash of things. Those are the suspensions. Yes, these are the suspensions that we're working on. Okay, cool. Dope. So technically now, this is where I gotta kind of plan here. So if I take that and then I parent it to that, and then I rotate this guy, that should technically give me that kind of control. It does. Okay, cool. Oh, wait a minute. That's fine. That's separate. Let's see. Hey, dude, I'm working on a games project. I'm wondering if it'd be acceptable to have one asset be split into 4 texture sheets to maintain a high level of detail, or is it best to keep things in one? So for games, it depends. If you are working on like a hero asset and it's like your main thing, it's going to be like what you do all your close-ups on. From what I know, it's generally acceptable. I've never done work in games, so I'm not really super sure. But I know generally for optimization, you want to keep it down to 1. But again, that kind of flip-flops when you're talking about like hero assets. So, okay, cool. So that takes care of that. So parent to that. Okay. And these arrows are going to get used last because they're going to be kind of the main control. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick one of these and we're going to just kind of experiment with it for a little bit because I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. God, that really doesn't go anywhere. I don't really think... Yeah, that's not going to... I'm still going to parent that, but that's not going to move at all. So let's just get rid of that. That one's locked in place, so. Okay, so I think I'm gonna screw with this first one here. So let's go look at this guy. Shift isolate. Okay. I like that that is not centered at all. Let's go center pivot. Okay. So we're gonna do another. Do I want to do circles? I'm gonna do. I need something that's different. Let's do a triangle. We'll do world. Yeah, that'll work. These will be blue. Okay. I'm like trying to figure out like what to use for what, just so I have like some decent reference for what actually controls what. Okay. So let's look at this. That's not lined up at all. That's okay though. Really just needs to be kind of centered. Okay. Okay. So we're going to parent that to that. Actually, hold on before I do that. Okay. Parent. Okay, this guy. Come up here. That one's actually nicely centered, so just pop that in there. I'm wondering how you're going to get the belt moving. Will it be on a curve? Yeah, so the curve, so technically, you can't really see it. Let me move this back in place. So technically, in my brain, this is how this is going to work. There is a curve right here in the middle. This is actually the same curve I used to make the track. Can I actually select the curve, please? Yeah, Shift I. So technically, the tread's going to travel on this. So there's a couple of different ways to do a tank tread. I'm going to try to do one kind of the simpler way. But the issue is I want to make sure I have different control over directional steering. So like, if you ever look at a tank, right, like when it's turning, one tread's turning backwards while the other tread's turning forwards. So I need to be able to have the control back and forth independently. So that's going to be really tough to figure out. But it's the last thing I got to figure out. Shouldn't be too painful. Okay. Parent. Okay, so I'm going to isolate these and set these up because this is always kind of a pain. So let's freeze transforms on all of this. Okay. So technically, I think if I select that one, I select that one and I do a constrain, I do a, was it orient? Oh, I think it was aim or orient. And then go to U. Do the same thing. No, it wasn't that. Okay, hold on. I need to remember how I did that because I don't remember. This technically needs to aim to this, so if I go constrain, aim. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Just took me a second to remember. Okay. Show, isolate, view selected. Wait, so the suspension can influence the curve's curve. So, no, but yes. That's a weird gray area. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, if this is going to work the way I think it will, which I think it will, use a blend shape on the curve itself, and then have the suspension connect to the blend shape in order to pull. So if I can create a separate control that pulls the actual curve, the tank tread will continue traveling along the curve, and it'll flex the track. That's my thought process. Is it going to work? I have no clue. Okay. So you are going to parent... I need like a controller for this, so I'm probably overcomplicating the hell out of this, but I'd rather do it right. Box world. Okay. So I want all of this junk. To connect to you, parent. I gotta think about, let's see, so if I flex that up, yeah. Parent. And then this gets parented to, this is probably not gonna work, I don't know. No. Well, that freaked me out. I thought Maya crashed. So let me think about that. Because like right now, this should be functioning, right? So if I move that, yeah, so we got that movement. Technically, I should be able to parent to that. There we go. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that is, I just have to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, a lot more. Sweet. I love that. Is there some kind of procedural framework like Maya to Blender has geonodes? Because I imagine that the whole suspension belt system can be procedural. Yeah, so the second way to do it, which I don't think I mentioned when I was talking about it, is to use something called Mash. Celebrated. What the hell are you? Man. Yeah, so you can use Mash, which is kind of like their motion graphics slash kind of like, I don't want to call it geometry nodes because it's different than that, but it's a node-based kind of workflow that allows you to do both mechanical stuff. So like the tread when I built it was actually made with Mash because that was getting me the result that I wanted without flexing everything. Because when you use the curve warp function on like tons of geometry like this, it tends to bend, and I didn't want that, so I used Mash for this, and it allowed me to get this finite control, and then I was able to tweak the belt just a little bit in order to get where I needed to get, and then everything just kind of worked. So you could do Mash for the tread. I'm going to try to avoid that just because I don't want to work two systems into it, and I want it to be as easy to move into Unreal if I want to move it into Unreal eventually, so yeah. There's some thought behind it. So that's perfect. And then the rest of that will be kind of procedural stuff that I animate. Okay. Okay. So let's think about that. I'm going to save this real quick. File. Save scene. I'm going to actually duplicate this interior curve here. This is what I like about 3D though, right? Like, I can experiment with it all day long. Give me the curve. And I can just do whatever I want to. That's not even what I needed to select. And you know, I don't know. I never get bored of it. Except for when it does stupid stuff like this. Okay, there we go. I'm duplicating this curve to have like a main mount point. In fact, actually, I think I'll do that inside. Because once I figure one of these treads out, I can do the rest of them, basically. So this one, I'm going to do the control curve on. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use this as like my anchor point for the entire thing. So when I select that, I'm going to go Edit, Add an Attribute. We're going to use the set-driven key here. This is going to be, I don't know, 0, 2. So suspense, 0, 2. We're going to go from 0 to 35 and hit OK. All right, sweet. So now we can build that. So what I want to do is we're going to set this guy up. So we're going to load. Our driver is going to be this guy. Load his driver. Suspense 0, 2. This is going to be a driven. Let's think. So that's a driven. That's a driven. What is a driven? Oh, you got to do both of them. What is driven? Okay, cool. And then basically what I can do now is I can select these, and then we're gonna just take. We're gonna take all of these. And we're gonna key it, and then we're gonna see if this works. I'm hoping this will work. We go to 35. And then from here, we will just go up, twist this a little bit. Okay. And then key it. And so hopefully it doesn't spaz, and it just works. There we go. Cool. All right, cool. Now I can show you guys how I connect that. Orca, I don't know what that says, and I cannot translate that. Can you translate that to English for me? I'm sorry. I don't know how to read that. There's some static on your mic, I just noticed. It sounds like fans. Yeah, that's probably my streaming PC. Hold on a second. Let's see. I bet you my control curve on my thingy went down. Let's see. Gigabyte Control Center. I wondered. It sounded a little loud to me, so give me a second here. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I can see it affecting my microphone. What's up, Undefined? How are you? That's what it was. It wasn't running. Okay, I fixed it. Yeah, that should be much better. Okay. I'm going to move this off now. So this is where we get to kind of have a little bit of fun with this. So this guy is going to be parented to this guy. So whenever this gets... Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, cool. Whenever that moves, So this guy is going to be that. So we'll go Windows. I'm going to go to Connection Editor. This thing used to scare the shit out of me because I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing most of the time, but I figured out most of it. So we know that we're going to be going translate. Reload left. We're going to go translate. And that is going to be, whoa, nope, damn it. There we go. Okay, so that's translate, and that's going to be, let me freeze that real quick. I'm going to go up, that's going to be in the Y direction. So translate Y, reload left, translate Y. And then I need to load this guy into the right. Scroll down here. We're going to do suspension 02. That should now make that a thing. Maybe. Okay, close. It's trying to. Okay, it's doing it. It's just it wants the full range. Yeah, so that's a problem. So I might have to adjust that a little bit. But that's okay. Much better. Cool. Awesome. How you doing, Undefined? I'm seeing a new personality here. Yeah. It's a personality of I don't know what I'm doing. How are you doing, Arman? Let me get some music going here real quick. Give me a second, guys. White bat. Boom. Okay, cool. So that handles that. So I need to figure out how to change that because that movement's too much. So basically the way that works is it feeds off of what you set your kind of control to. So let's see if I can't edit that because it's been a second. Edit the set driven key. No, hold on. Edit the attribute. No, don't add attribute. Edit attribute. Okay, so I can't change the minimum maximum. That sucks. Okay. I'm doing good, by the way. I'm trying to make a model of a pistol you did on your channel, but I want to make it low poly, like under 1,000 polys, and bake it with high poly and subs painter. You can make it nice. That sounds cool. I mean, technically that's traditionally a low poly asset anyway, so totally worth a shot. I just like doing things high poly because that's me. Oh, I can change it. Oh, look at that. Okay. Let's go to 10. Okay, close. So now if I move that, I might have to change the keying on that. No, because that doesn't technically change it. Hold on. And that's locked because I changed the component. Okay. So before all right. I'm gonna Control Z a lot here. Okay. So technically now that goes to 35. So if I go here, edit the attribute, select you, go to 10 only, close. Only goes halfway, so I can fix that. Okay, so let's load. Where'd my key go? Okay, so this is going to be the driven, and then I gotta load our driver, which is already actually loaded, so that's fine. I gotta load both of these though, actually. Load driven. Okay. Select both of those. Okay. And that's technically already lifted now, so now I can go. Oh, damn. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Okay. Hopefully, I just did that right. I did. Cool. Sweet. All right. Awesome. Now I can redo that connection editor. So now, select this guy, go back to here. I'm starting to enjoy this a lot more now that I'm actually like doing this. It's definitely still a pain. Translate Y. Reload right. It's going to be this suspension 0 and then close. Okay. So now that's better. It's still pretty high. But I mean, that's okay. That's not terrible. Gives me the control I want. So now I've got this nice effector outside of it basically that allows me to control that without losing any weird stuff. Tank return, yes. What's up, Mr. Blazing Man? Almost done with half the high poly work and the low poly unwraps, so I'll be sharing it soon with you. And yay, nice, that's awesome. I'm excited to see it. Excited to see it. Okay. Now we just got to do 4 more like that. That's where rigging sucks. That's where it definitely sucks. Okay. But that's promising at least. It would be nice to figure out how to get that to do that faster, but I might have to do a little bit of research on that. It's super cool though, because now all of that's working the way it should be. And then if I take this, and then technically, let's think about this. So take that curve, parent it to that. That should move as one unit, minus that because that's not connected to anything yet. Yeah. And then that should still... Oop, that's not good. Why did that break? Oh, it broke because it was pointing. Okay, so let's... parent to this. So that's a bit of an issue. Well, it shouldn't be breaking like that. Okay, cool. That's a big problem. So I'm gonna have to troubleshoot why that's not working. How are you? I see you're trying something new. Yeah, I'm trying to do stuff that I said I was gonna do last year that I did, or like the beginning of the year that I didn't do, and I'm just trying to catch up on stuff I wanted to do. So, because next year I want to do some more stuff with like animation projects. So it's gonna be a heavy focus for me. Is it because this has a? It might be. Okay. I'm really curious as to why that's breaking like that. Okay, so that part's solved. Okay. Cool. I'm really hoping I can just duplicate this rig across, because I don't want to do this again. What's up, the Prasoon? How are you? Okay, so that's cool. It's technically all working. It's just that that one interesting. Oh, I broke it. Oops. Okay. I see what I did wrong. My bad. You need to... Hold on. Parent to that. And that should technically parent to that, maybe? Okay. I think that solved it. As long as this doesn't snap away, we're good to go. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and save real quick because it's been a minute. This is going to be so complicated, but it's going to be so cool when it's done. Okay. And the cool thing is when I'm done rigging all this out, I can hide everything but the ones I need to control stuff. That's going to be super great. So that still moves independently. It does. Sweet. All right. Well, let's do another one. First transform center pivot. You are going to get a triangle. You're going to be a blue one. And these are all just kind of for like reference sake. Like you don't technically have to use these, but it's better to use them instead of having like your meshes parenting to other things. So I do this to keep this clean. And again, this could be wrong, but I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. How are you doing, Undefined? I hope you're having a good night. This is for sure one of those things that people are like, "Oh, I'm addicted to rigging." I'm like, "But why?" Okay, and then you aim to that guy, constrain. I'm gonna do an aim. And so technically, oh. Aim. It should be, yep, there we go. Cool. I'm not really concerned that they go through each other. It's not a huge deal. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. I'm slowly making my way through this stuff. Okay, so that controls that. That's fine. You need to do another, so let's do a box here. We're gonna do another box to world, yellow. Okay. Okay. That should be everything that parents to that. Parent. Okay. Beautiful. You are going to parent to this, and then this parents to that, which should already be part of this. Yes, good, 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 good. And then this, I believe, gets parented. Yeah, okay, so that, you, remembering all this is actually kind of a nightmare. Okay. So now when I rotate, I should get the full control. I do. That's beautiful. Doing good. Just trying to learn Unreal. To be honest, it's been a pain in the ass. We do have, if you're in the Discord, Undefined, there is a channel for Unreal stuff. So we call it the Unreal Wastelands because most of us are still learning it. So if you want to jump in there, there's a good place to kind of like post questions and stuff. I know a couple of us have some pretty good experience in it. I'm not hyper experienced in it, but I know it can be a pain. Okay, so that handles that. So let's go ahead and set up our set-driven key now. Yay! Hold on. Parent. Okay. So where'd I go? Set-driven key. This is okay. So I need to load my driver, which is going to be this big guy. Load driver. No, hold on. Edit. Add attribute. It's gonna be suspense 0, 3. Nope. 0, 10. Okay. Load driver. Suspense 0, 3. And then we're gonna do this guy and that guy. Load is driven. And then select all this junk. Okay. So now I can key that one time, and then we can adjust it to where we need it to go. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Crank it to 10. Now we can do it. That is not centered at all, but it's fine. Most of the stuff is hidden anyway, so key that. Not a huge deal. Let's pull that back down. Okay, we got full control there. All right, now we gotta set the other link up. So we're gonna select this guy, and then we're gonna go Windows, and just keep doing this until I go crazy. Connection editor. Okay, so you, my friend, are the left, and you are the right. So I need the transform Y, translate Y, and the suspense 3. Did that just shift? It did. Hold on. That's why. Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh, we're landing. Have a good one. All right, Sarah, have a safe one. Get home good. Get home safe. Jeez, I can't talk tonight. Glad you enjoyed TwitchCon. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit different. This one's gonna rock. So this one we got to set it up to rock. Because it doesn't, I don't think it even has pistons, does it? No, it doesn't. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of rocking control. So actually might be a little bit easier. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete that arrow. And I'm gonna change that. So from here we're gonna go do curve 2 arrows, world. -90, enter. I'm gonna center the pivot. Okay, so that's the center pivot. Let's make that red. I feel like that's a different red. That was a different red. Okay. So let's get that centered here. So you can see that this is an absolute nightmare, and I don't like recommending rigging at all. But man, once it's done, it's so cool. World. Okay. Okay, so that should rotate that, yeah. Okay, then this, wait a minute, where is it? This one up here goes like that. Okay. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do another set driven key. So parent. Okay. Nice shoes. Thanks, man. What's up, Bestie? How you doing, man? Set driven key set. Okay, so it's just repetition at this point, and like remembering it is kind of a pain, but we're getting somewhere. Load driven. I did that wrong again. Add attribute. Let's see, suspense. 0, 4. 0, 10. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Load driven. No. God damn it. All right. Hold on. Load driver. If you're confused, it's totally understandable because I am too. Go there. Perfect. Suspense 0, 4. Okay, so we're gonna key at 1. All the way to 10. And let's go ahead and do some magic. Key. Okay, cool. All right. I just got home in time to work on homework. Nice. How are you, my dude? I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing real good. Halcyon, do you have a YouTube channel? I do, yes. It's in my bio on Instagram. There's a link tree thing in there. Did you create all the shoes? Yes. I don't know if you ever got to see this project, SDI. This is my tank. Everything you see is mine. So what I'm doing right now is setting it up to be able to animate it. So it's cool stuff. And I'm realizing now that I didn't really need to do that. So I'm gonna take this, just move it back over here, because I can still use that same key. This was my like first baby of this year. Like, this was the big one that I spent a lot of time on. Okay, so I'm remembering correctly. This is my driver. So I need this guy. Go Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor. Okay, fuck. Let's load you. Load left. Just make sure this is all loaded right. I need my translate Y. You're going to control suspense 04 and then close. So now, hell yeah, cool. And then if I remember correctly, I just need to parent these now, right? Okay, let's test some things. So I'm gonna move it. Everything seems okay. None of this should hopefully snap away. That's working. That's working. That's working. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. I don't feel like a complete idiot anymore. Thanks. You really deserve a sub. Thank you. I appreciate that. Every sub helps the channel grow and helps me keep doing what I do for free, so. But if you guys want to, I actually just saved before you played that, so good one. And if you guys want to, you can support me on Patreon or join as a YouTube member. Either way is an awesome way to support the stuff I do, so. And you get free stuff. Or on Twitch. You can also join me on Twitch as a sub. Those always help. Okay, so that kind of handles the suspension. And then I think what I want to do is I'm going to do one like main control for all of it. So let's see. Okay, so this one just rotates. That one's pinned in place. It doesn't flex. So I do need to do this one real quick. So we'll do a box. Just get that lined up with everything else. Go yellow. Okay. And then we're going to work on this piston. I really hope I can duplicate this. I'm going to be so sad if I can't duplicate it across properly. What am I doing? I need triangle. Triangle. Origin. Nope. World. World. Why are you doing that? Oh, that's why. I didn't center it. Okay. That's better. World. Okay. Blue. Okay. We hit an hour yet? Yeah, we have, but Instagram hasn't died for some reason, so I'm gonna just keep going. Okay. Control D. This is a nightmare. Okay. Okay. So this guy aims to you, constrain, aim, and then you aim to this guy, same thing. We will test that real quick. Something's wrong. Yep, okay. Hold on. Yeah, that's exactly why. Okay. Always make sure you freeze your transforms on this stuff, because if you don't, you will regret it. Okay, you get aimed, constrain, aim, 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 aim. And then same to you, G. Why are we still doing that? Rotate Z. Okay, something's wrong. Oh, okay. Me not paying attention to my own advice. Okay. Constrain, aim. Why are you doing that? That's weird. Let's just revert back there. Okay, I want to make sure that these are completely cleared. Okay, so freeze transformation, center pivot. Let's just do that on all of them. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Parent. Parent. This is going to be the last one to give me a problem. Just watch. That's fun. Why are we doing that? So if I go, okay, hold on, I gotta catch it so I can see what's being affected. I might be able to just lock it down. Okay. Is it you? No, it's you. So for whatever reason, hold on. Why is... What? Can I break the connection there? Break connection. Break connection. I don't know if that breaks the... It does, okay. It's the first one that's been giving me that issue. That's quite weird. Let's look at the way that's constraining, I guess. Okay. So if I go up here, constrain, we're gonna do an aim. Maintain offset. Let's just do all. Did that get reset somehow? Apply. G. It did. Weird. My tool reset. Okay. Whatever. Okay, so that should be... Yeah, that should work fine now. Cool. Okay. So that little triangle, which I should have selected right now, right? Yeah. This, 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 and this. That, and you. These get parented to this guy. Okay. This triangle. It's parented, nope. To that parent, and then this gets parented to that. Okay, so technically now when I rotate this stupid thing, none of that works because that's not parented to it. So parent, and now, oh. Did that backwards. Okay. Parent. Okay. All right, so you in turn get parented to this one, parent. That should function right now. Cool, beautiful. Love that. Okay. I think we're ready to do the set-driven key. So let's go ahead and go to key, set-driven key, set. This will always be our driver. This is going to be edit, add attribute. No. Edit, add attribute, thank you. This is going to be suspense. 0, 1. 0 to 10. Okay. Oh, I hate that. Can I change that? I guess it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Alright, so this is our driver. We're going to load our driver. We're going to load this guy and this guy. Load is driven. Select those. Select those. Suspense 0, 1. Key at 0. Okay. Just want to make sure that's not hitting anything. I mean, technically it kind of is, but should be okay. Key. Okay. We'll pull that down. Sweet. Okay. We're almost done with that portion. Whew. That's a lot of brain power. Okay, this guy has been parented to, or at least should have been. No, it's not yet. Okay, so this needs to be parented to you. Okay, so that controls all of that now. And then this will get parented once it's connected, so. Let's go Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor. Oh my goodness. Okay. Translate. C, right? No, Y. Yeah, okay. That's translate Y. And that's going to affect reload right, suspense 01, close. Okay. Nope, something didn't work right there. So give me a second. Let's see, general editors, connection editor, translate Y affected by reload right. Oh. Reload right. Suspense 01. Close. Why is that not working? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, and then that gets parented to this. And now that's an entire assembly that should move forward. I should have complete control over these. Just want to test the rig real quick. It's all working the way it's supposed to. All right, before I do any major changes on this, I'm going to go ahead and save scene. So the next thing I want to do is I want to unparent this actually. So edit, unparent. That should hopefully break the connection from that, but it should still allow me to control that. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're going to do this a little bit differently. Unparent you, and unparent you. I'm going to do a cross for this. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Dane Raven. Dane. Hopefully I did that right. Appreciate it. Is that what I wanted? That's not what I wanted. I want the thin cross world. Let's go here. Okay, so this one's going to control all of them at once, basically. I think this is like totally me just trying to see if this is going to be functionally usable. Okay. So I'm gonna make you red. Okay, so you can parent to that. You can parent to that. So now, if I move that up, oh no, it breaks it. That's not cool. So let's see. So I don't want to break that. So what if I use a parent constraint? So let's go constrain. Let's do a parent. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Same thing there. Okay, so that gives me full control of the entire suspension together. And then I can actually independently tweak those as well. Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. And then I can parent to that. So let's test it again. So move forward. Boom. We can do that. Or we can do adjustments. This is fantastic. Okay, cool. Sweet. How long have we been going? Hour and a half. My God, rigging takes forever. Okay. Well. Let's get everything else kind of hooked up. This doesn't really do anything, so it's honestly just going to get parented. This can be parented to that, just like normal. And then honestly, the rest of this is just going to get parented to this. So okay. Ooh, there's something so satisfying about that. Okay. File, save scene. So the next thing I have to figure out, and I'm probably gonna have to do some research on this one because I need to figure out how to get a sustaining rotational animation to these, because that's gonna affect the pinwheels in the front, the pinwheels in the back, the main wheel, and then the little minor suspense wheels. Everything else though is pretty much solidified. Cool. Alright, so I've saved that. So let's play a little bit with the tread. Let me select it. I want to make sure that's not selecting. It's not. Okay. It's only selecting that portion. I'm okay just getting some things done. Gotcha. Well, hopefully you're chilling a little bit. Are you feeling better? No, you said you were getting sick. Okay. Oh yeah, my PC loves rotating around that. A little bit. That's good. Alright, let's isolate what we're going to do here, because this is going to be really kind of weird. Where's my curve? Oh, dude, where's my curve? That's not good. Oh, there it is. A little hard to see. Can't see it at all, actually. Sweet. Is it one of these? No. What about you? Yeah, it was that one. Okay, Shift I. Okay. Let's get rid of this stuff. I don't want it. Okay. So let's take this. All right. We've got that. Let's center, pivot, freeze transforms, all that good stuff. Same for you. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do constrain, pole vector, geometry, tangent, orient, parent, rivet, motion paths. I don't know if that'll work. Oh no, definitely not. Let's look at the attributes on that. No. Let's not do that. Is Maya gonna crash on me? No, okay, good. Won't do it. Oh. We also left a piece behind. That's fine. Oh man. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's see. I can do a curve deform. See what that does. This part is where I might just say screw it, and I might have to do some more research on, because I've never done a tank tread before. Suspension wasn't too hard, but this is going to be problematic. Oh yeah, that worked great. Super. All right, well, what I'm going to do then, because we're about an hour and a half in and my brain is fried, I'm going to go ahead and call stream a little early tonight. I'm going to get that figured out this week. And then hopefully you guys should see some updates this week. So let's see. Okay, cool. I think Maya's going to crash, so we'll see what happens while I'm saying my goodbyes. But everybody on Instagram, thank you so much for hanging out. As always, I appreciate it tremendously. You guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you all live on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Have a good night, Instagram. YouTube, same for you guys. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. As always, I appreciate you being here. You watching on YouTube helps the channel tremendously because it's the only platform I get ad revenue on. So thank you for hanging out and dealing with those. I always appreciate it. But I will see you guys all on Friday. We'll probably be modeling again, depending on how far I get on this. We might be animating. Don't know. I'm trying to mix the streams up a little bit, so I'm not just modeling every single freaking stream. But yeah, everybody on YouTube, thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Friday. And hang around Twitch. We're going to raid.